Yeah, money, because nobody is talking about money, so let's talk about money.
Talk about.
Yes. All right. So thank you so much for joining. In this SEO Happy Hour, we have Veronika Höller, and I'm very pleased and grateful to have you, because you are well known in the PPC and SEO world. But I have an interesting story how I met you, so I really want to bring that. It was this March of April, and I was at Brighton conference, and I started to kind of like networking, and you were a first person that I approached, and I said like, um, I think I asked you if you are a speaker, because kind of
Mhm.
your vibration in the room was that you are a speaker. So I was like, yeah,
Oh,
she must be a speaker. And when we were talking, then you also mentioned that you start speaking with imposter syndrome topics, and that is something that I'm very passionate about. So that was my also journey. So thank you so much for joining the call. And yeah, I think this topic is very important because it improves the quality of the life. And for some reasons, like in the EU, that is not in the States, like talking and like mentioning the money has some kind of like negative tendency, like even like that is something like bad. So I don't think the money is bad. So I really want to bring the awareness of these kinds of false beliefs there that they are incorporated in our minds, generationals, like from the past, and then how we can have that like money mindset that is working for us, that we can actually implement in our full-time job, asking for a salary decrease. If you are having a SEO service, how to actually put right prices, and like all the rest things that money is actually connected to. So I was very enjoyed when we had like initial call, and when we brought this topic, and I also saw that you are passionate about that, you also want to talk, and your mindset is perfect for this. So I really want to discuss that with you. So after this long introduction, just like talking about random things, welcome to stage, small stage, Veronika.
thank you very much. So, yes, it's a hard topic of mine. This money mindset. So I've worked as freelancer, I've worked in agencies, I've worked in-house, and it doesn't matter in which role or which position we are. So it's always the same topic. So I don't know why it is this way, but we feel ashamed if we ask for more money. And as I started as freelancer, I thought the same way. So I thought it's better to have a lower price to get more, yeah, to get more jobs. And what happens is you have to make so many jobs, you can't make your job good as you would, for example. And often, if I've talked to my clients, they say, "Yeah, okay, we can start with this budget, and then we can ramp it up in 1 year or whatever." But this is something never happened,
Mhm.
and this is really important. So it's not a shame to know your value, and we all have a value. We have knowledge in different ways, and this is our value. And to get money for our value, this is what every man does. So to be honest. It's something we women have in our mindsets like, oh my God, should I ask? Should I not ask? And mostly, if you talk to your manager or you talk to your clients, they don't want to pay you more, to be honest, because they have a budget. And mostly, there's something like an answer, like money is not the important thing, for example. And then you feel ashamed, oh my God, he thinks money is the only thing I have on my mind. But it's a trick. It's a trick for you to, yeah, to put you a little bit under, because it's totally okay to get more money for your work. And it's not a shame to ask. and it's your right to get more. And you can say at this point, yes, I understand, but I think more money would show me how well you how how you think how well you I am. So it's something very important. So then you see what I'm doing, for example. And this is really interesting because if you change the switch in such a communication, then they go down and yes, of course, and they go in the other direction. And I've made this by my clients because I have to. I had I had too many projects and I was absolutely overwhelmed at this time. And so I had to make this decision to say, okay, I need more money for this project and then I can do it better work. And so I started to change my mindset because I've worked longer time for this project. For example, it was 2 years. And this was funny because my client said, no problem, but I want you full time. So you can come to my company. So it was completely other communication. And at this point, I said, okay, we make it. So it was for me, okay. So I switched from freelancing to full time. And it was so much easier at this point to work with him and the team. And it was a funny time. But I also had lost some clients, to be honest. This happens too. But at this point, if they don't see what you are doing, if they don't see your value and the increase of all the things you have all the things you have done for the website, for example, if you're an SEO site, if you don't see that the rankings are growing, the brand awareness is there, you get leads from the website or something like this, then I would say it's not the right client. It sounds easy to say, but it is the right way. So we have to change our mindset that we try to keep hanging on people. They use us and not see us. This is really, really important. And it's as freelancer, as agency, or in-house, it's the same thing. People use us, but don't see us. And this is so important to say, I want more money because I need this for different reasons. And it's not easy. If you say you want 30% more money, you must be sure that doesn't work. But if you say you want 8 until 10% or 15%, this must be possible. So yes, we have to go out and say this. So right now I know my value. And it's long time, imposter syndrome, overwhelmed, not true. So my husband always said to me, I don't understand why you take so less money for your work. It was always a discussion between me and him. And he said, I would not work for this. And I said, how could he say this? So it's, no. So, but he's definitely right. I think it's more Roman thing. So I don't know why we do this or, keep us down.
What I can see the difference between like women and men regarding the money thing is actually that women tend to work with emotions and with the project
Yes.
clients that they love. And for women, it's more important that like she's really enjoying in the projects, in the work, that like she feels supported, loved, appreciated. And then men, they have like different kind of perspective about work. They're not looking for just like to be loved, supported in the team. They have their own vision. They want some career path. They want some money. That is something that is focused for them. And with that attitude, when the man is coming and asking for a salary increase, for when they are negotiating like for the new jobs, the attitude is so different. And
Yes.
energy has been felt by another side. And you know, when we are coming and saying like, is there maybe possibility that we can
Yeah,
get a raise? Of course, that another side will feel that we are not confident. And when man is coming and saying like, hey, I want this amount of money, if you want to hire me, if not, let me know, I have some other opportunity. And if you are a manager, who would be your choice to actually put the position for that? Because we are all looking for that confidence in others.
yes, and you know, with this person, you have someone who is backbone, who is confident, and who know his value.
Mm-hmm,
So, of course, I would give him the money. And this is exactly what we have to learn. We have to learn that we have the right to talk about salary increases in a confident way. So, it's really important to be sure you have a value, your work has an impact, you have an increase. You can measure your task, you can track all your tasks you have done. You see exactly the starting point, and then you see how it grows. And this is something you can take in the salary increase communication. So you can show, so I started there and now we are here. And I have reached this. And then you get mostly they make you an offer.
mm-hmm,
But you have to show it's not enough to say I want a salary increase and to be small and looking down or something. So then you want a salary increase because of.
mm-hmm,
So and there are so many things you can talk about. You can say I want a, if you're an in-house, you can say okay, increase my salary from point X in 2 years until Epsilon. So this is also possible. So you don't have to say, I want 5% more or 10% more. You can say, in 2 years, I want to be at this point. And
yeah.
then you give it back to your manager. And then you say, okay, what will you do that I get this point? And this is really interesting. I've done this with my manager before. I've said, in 2 years, I want to be here. So, and he was really, oh, I don't know if you can get it. And oh, I'm not sure because on I said, but don't you think that it's good for me, or don't you think I deserve this? So I was really hard at this point, and he, of course, you deserved it, and he said, okay, I will try everything, and then it was possible to make this really, really clear. It is possible mostly, and if it needs 2 steps, it's also okay, or if it needs 3 steps. So, and on client side, it's the same thing. It's the same discussion. They want to give more money. Mostly, they have their budget and they don't want to give it away. Sometimes you have clients, they say, of course, here you get it, you have done a great work. But at this point, you can talk about give me a fixum and a bonus if I reach this point, for example, if we get a conversion grow until 50%, then I want a bonus about 5,000, for example. So it's something you can talk about.
Yeah. And you know,
And
sorry, I
no,
interrupt.
it's okay.
Please go ahead.
No, go.
Yeah, I wanted to actually make a step back because this is kind of like action plan how to do this. But what I can see with especially my coaching clients when we are working on the salary increases negotiation, like for a new job, or like clients that want to increase the prices of the SEO services, the step they know how they will make action items, how to ask that. But before that, they are having so many thoughts why this is impossible. And these thoughts are stopping them to even start that process of the asking for a salary increase, for example. Some of these, like I would say, like top 5 thoughts are firstly, fear of the rejection. What
Mhm.
if they ask for a salary increase, and what if that ruins manager like the relationship with their manager?
It doesn't.
It
So
doesn't.
It doesn't really. And these are the thoughts. It's something like, I don't know, it's a phenomenon. It's like we always have these discussions with ourselves. But be sure your manager or your account manager, if you are a freelance or for agency, get more money than you and have the same discussions with his leader. And CEO has a high salary, so he knows exactly why he's on this position. So this is not. So people always think it's a bad thing, it's a bad feeling, and what do they think about you at this moment?
Mm-hmm.
They think you are a human and you have your needs, and sometimes they are really impressed because you are tough. So they all so think about you have um, a person you look in the face has the same things. So they have the same discussions, and you can be sure they earn much more money than you because they are gone this way. And this is something it ruins the relationship. So it's only in our head, and I've got a feeling you can have supporters around you. 10 supporters say yes, do it. One said,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. Are you sure you should do it? And then you don't think about the 10 around. They say, yes, do it. You only have this one person in mind who said, do you think this is the right way? And this is something we have to learn to get out of us. So we need money to live. If you have kids, you need your money for your kids too. If you are alone, you need your money. Um, all the costs increase year per year. So it's something we need to live, and we do a really good work. And this is the most important thing. So if you do really good work and you don't get the salary you deserve, then you are unhappy. And this feeling is so bad because you think, why do I don't get a salary increase? You can't get a salary increase if you don't talk about it. So they can't read your mind. They don't want to read your mind, for example. It could be, maybe it could be two. So you have to talk about it. So I have this disappointing feeling, not from my side, from a colleague last year. She had worked really hard. And then she said to me, Veronika, this year I don't get a salary increase. And I said, have you talked to your manager? Have you discussed? So what happened? She said, no, but he should see my work. And this is something, it doesn't work this way.
Mm-hmm.
So for him, it was, yeah, good. She works for this money so hard. So perfect. Yeah. But it's something you have to talk about it. So, and then you're feeling unhappy, and then this feeling comes up. I don't work more than 100% anymore. So your mood goes down. Your, so it was so fun, yeah, interesting, fun to see her. And I said, what do you expecting? So to be honest, he can't read your mind, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure he don't want to read your mind. But to fall down and to say it's unfair because the other colleague get the increase. So it's because the other person had talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
This is the only reason. It's a business decision. It's not an emotional decision. It's a business decision. And I think we take it so personal sometimes. And we expect that the other person give it for free. So, so this is really important. If you do good things, then talk about the good things. If you reach successes, talk about your successes, take them with in this communication, and don't listen to the other persons around who say don't do it, because you will be unhappy at the end. It's and mostly those persons go from the company. They go so because they are so unhappy, and they will never get happy, because if they don't learn to talk about their needs, there's no place where you get happy and you know your value. But I have a mentee, my first mentee from Women in Tech SEO, and she had the same problem. And She was from the UK and she comes to Germany and she thought, oh, the salary is much higher than in the UK, but she forget about our taxes. So at the end, mm, yes, it was not more. And then she asked me how to do this. And I said, I can't do this, but you can talk to my hubby because he's in this position and then he can help you with this. And then they have a training session. And this is really important. Before you go in this discussion, train these discussions. So
Mhm.
this is really, really important. Train it. And then she said why she thinks she deserves a salary increase. And he was really honest and said, sorry, you wouldn't get it from me with these points you have. And she was really disappointed. And I thought, oh my God, everything's broke down. But no, he gave her advices how she get her salary increase. And as she had she had this communication, and then it was so funny. She called me, I got it, I got it. So, and this is something really important. So train it. If you're scared about it, if you feel ashamed about it, train it with a friend, with a colleague. Um, if you have someone who is in a leader position in your friends cycle, or you have a leader you know really good who trained this communication with you, then do this. It's not a shame to train this. It's really important to be confident, stand up, backbone, and know why you deserve this salary increase. And yes, this is I would say train it with every person you get and try to get it out of your head. This it's a bad thing or I didn't deserve it. This is also a point. Sometimes people think I don't deserve it. And I think why? Because they work really hard, they did a great job. So I'm sure there are people around they didn't deserve an increase and they get one. And there are so many they deserve this increase and they don't get it because they are noisy.
Yeah.
So it's also something you have to train to coach.
For
The
my
value.
For my first salary increase, I was preparing myself 6 months. I started in
Yes.
July. I started in July and I was building that confidence. I was collecting the evidence. I was researching the market. I was researching like company 6 months, like I swear to God, like from July to the end of December when I got to the manager and say like I made a presentation. And this is a presentation that I was building like for 2 months every day putting some and like during this process I really convinced myself that I really deserve that because I back up with the evidence, with the numbers, with the receipts,
Yes.
with the everything. But the hardest point was to actually thoughts about why they will reject me. Economic crisis, they will say like no, I'm too young, I don't have experience, like all possible answers. And whenever I got rid of these thoughts and put the action plan, like I was feeling better. But also, I would like to invite like people here because I'm actually preparing a webinar on this Saturday, how to ask for a salary increase, and this is the perfect time how to actually to talk about all these things. And definitely the link for the joining a call will be below. But like we will do that like on Saturday. So basically, we are going to get rid of all these sabotaging thoughts and make the plan, the action plans that like my coaching clients are working towards that and how I got that. So perfect moment for it. But also like people who are here, please let me know if you have like any questions. This is not conversation between like Veronika and me talking and like blabbing. If you have some questions that you would like to ask now, please raise the hand or put in the chat, like because like we are here for you. If we can solve in practical way for you, that would be perfect. So don't hesitate to ask. It's perfect moment to have us here and get these answers.
Yes. This is something really good point. I've got this advice from a mentor for a few years. I should write down my small victories and achievements. So I should write it down on a journal or something. And this helps me to see what I have achieved in short times, my failures too. So, you know, something doesn't work right, it's okay. Um, and this helped me also if I go in these discussions. So I see this is a really good project. It works really good. We have really good results and we have achieved a lot. But I also prepare the fails in this time because sometimes it could be that the manager knows exactly what you have done or what's working good, what's working not so good. And then they can say, but this project wasn't a perfect project, for example. You didn't reach the numbers, for example. But this doesn't matter. If you have all your victories there, then you can say, yes, it's true. I have to optimize this project. So we always, yes, you are right. Not, I don't like it that you said this. So always, yes, you are right. We will optimize this project, but take a look on these things. These things are growing, and this was really important. And if you write all your victories down, then you have it in an overview. You don't have to search about it. You have it right in the hand for these discussions, and you can take a look and celebrate your victories. This is really important. So most we only see the negative things if a project doesn't work the way we want to, but we don't see all these positive projects. They run really good. So it's like we didn't see this. And I don't know why it is this way. And I know the younger generation is growing at the moment. They have another view of the things, and I'm happy for this. Yeah, so happy that I have another view of things. And we have to learn this. You can also say if you are in-house and you don't get an increase, you can say, okay, then I shorten my hours for the same salary. This is also possible. So there's always some things they can make, and then you have a salary increase because you have lesser working hours.
Mm-hmm.
So there are many, many things you
Yeah.
can do. And this is something you can also do for project for clients. If you say, okay, I couldn't work on this project longer, then you can take another project. For example, if they pay better than the other client. So
Yeah.
this is also okay. So I had these two variants in my life. I got a client who was paid really good, and the other one didn't want to increase. So I said, sorry, I have to shorten the hours because the other one pays more, and this was okay. So they had loved with this point.
Mm-hmm.
So this is all okay.
Yeah. What I can see is actually, in the end of the day, the lack of confidence and that
Mm.
insecurities about our own values are blocking us to start having these conversations, even with manager or clients. So once you are processing all these thoughts that you are thinking that are actually real, but they are not, because the only real thing is actually ask for that. Even you will say, like, you will get a no, and then you can ask, okay, can we make a plan? If
Yes.
again you are getting a no, then you can try to find another job where you will get a yes. But what I'm seeing is actually, if you are not able to talk with your current manager about salary increase, with a manager that you already have a good relationship, you will also not be able to start negotiating for another job. You will again accept whatever it is. And again, in that another company, you will again not be able to negotiate your salary increase in 1 year because you didn't take that opportunity to grow from this position. And like, it's totally okay to get no, like, they will not kill us. And as
No.
much no's as you are getting, you are closer to the next yes. And that is like the most important thing, because even you are not asking for a salary increase, you mentioned that very well, like, you're not happy. you are not going to be satisfied every day working here like 8 hours. You will not do your job. Everything will fall down in the end. And of course, in that moment, you will not be able to even ask for a salary increase. So there are
Yes,
also there's some, whatever you say, like whatever you start conversation, you will actually grow from that moment and be ready for the next stage. So many benefits are like just like from starting these conversations than just like
it's a
cutting down.
training.
Yeah.
It's a training. It's a coaching. So yes, it could happen that they say no, but you can be sure the other side will feeling not good if they have to say a no to you, and they will think about how they can make a yes for you. So they think about possibilities to make you happier at this point, and they make you another offer, for example. So this could happen. Sometimes it's like it is a client don't have the budget, so it could happen they don't have more budget, and in-house the same thing can happen. So we are a big concern I'm working for, but we also have budget freezes, and we have closely budget. So our managers don't have a big budget, they have a small budget. And they have really to decide which one they can give a salary increase or which one not. And but I know they're feeling not good if they don't can give you something. So this is they think about, okay, how can I make her happy? Because it could be she goes
Mm-hmm.
at this point, and they don't want that you leave. So and I think they are happy if you go in this discussion, because if they see that you're unhappy on your job and the numbers goes down, then they have to act. And this conversation is not the nicest conversation you can have if your numbers goes down and then they find out you're unhappy because you didn't talk. So I think it's really important talk. So there are managers you don't like. It's could happen. But sometimes you have manager, you have a really good connection and you can honestly talk to and they give you honestly answers.
Mm-hmm.
Um, But for you, it's a growing process. Every conversation is something you can learn and you can optimize by the next one. And write down, I found really, it's really important to write down what you think, what works really good in this conversation and what doesn't work really good. And then you go to the next conversation with a bigger confidence. Um, you have learned, and sometimes you have to accept the no. It's because sometimes they couldn't do anything, so it could happen. It's not personal, sometimes it's business, and this is also really important. Mostly we take it personal and then we don't ask again because we fail one time and then we are scared, oh my god, what is if it happened the second time? But it's not personal, so sometimes there are only business decisions. It's not because of us, it's a business decision. And this is something we have to learn. There are business decisions, and it's nothing, yeah, it's not on us. It's not our personality or our work or whatever. So it's only a business decision, and they have to cut some things.
Mm-hmm.
And this is so important to learn. It's okay. It's only a business decision. The next decision will be in a better decision. And learn from these conversations, discussions, and asked people who are successful in this way. So sometimes you have friends around us or colleagues, and you know they are really successful in these conversations, asking how they do it. And if you need a mentor or mentoring about this topic, use it and take a mentor for these topics and train with this person, the situations. And then I think there's no problem. And don't take it personal. It's so important not to think, oh my God, why didn't I ask?
Yeah.
So this is the worst thing it could happen. And mostly they are happy if you don't ask again, to be
Yeah.
honest. Yes.
Yeah.
So
And we are so afraid to get that no, even like when we were kids, like we were getting like thousands no's, but like that didn't
yes,
stop us for asking more and more, and like
Or do things. Yes.
and there is like a statistic, if you are asking more, you will get more. But like that, no, that like famous saying, like no, doesn't mean anything. And like we are
Mm-mm.
taking that so much personally, and we are taking so seriously, like ourselves,
Yes.
our job, like position, like team members, like everything is so serious, like everything is so personal. But like in the end of the day, that is causing our stress, like the biggest, because like we all know that like we are not doctors, we are not saving lives, but like
Yes.
this job, and that is kind of like the beauty of this job, like it's not so serious as we are taking it.
And this is the problem. So, your mindset should be, I have a title and I have a role, but if I go home, I put off this jacket and the role and I'm only myself. This is so important. It's a business life and it's a private life. And so many decisions are made, we don't understand. So we have this too last year. A lot of people have to go because of business decisions in my company, and it was really hard
Mhm.
because there were colleagues I didn't understand why, to be honest. So I thought, oh my God, such a great person, why this person has to go. So it was in my mind. But what I've learned all over the time, it's not a person, it's a business decision. And it was only a role and a title for a short time. But if you go in another position, then you have another title and another role. And we take this also personal, so emotional. And this was something, it was really important. If I talked to these persons who had to go, I said, don't take it personal. I know it's easy to say, but it was a business decision. And it has nothing to do, you are a great worker, great colleague, you've done really, really good work. And sometimes you don't understand why it is this way. But it has nothing to do with your work. And the other company can be happy to have you. So, and this is something, and for these persons, they fall in a rabbit hole, in a black hole, like, oh my God, I've done something wrong. And this is not true. And if we have this mindset, business is business, money, salary increase is business, then yes, you have a other mindset, you have a other confidence, you go completely in another mode in this discussion. So
Yeah.
it's business and it's your business. And we all deserve this. And you can be sure the person you talk about have such a high salary. If this person say money is not everything, he can say this because he's over 100,000 K.
Yeah.
Mostly, yeah. So
And he
maybe
asked
it's
for salary increase long time ago.
yes, 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 yes. So maybe for him it doesn't matter if you have 5K more or not.
Mm-hmm.
In his mindset, it could be, but in our mindset, a
Everything.
really good thing. Yes, and this is really important. And if you don't get what you want, it's also not the end of the world. It's like child's, how it ends. We had cried as child, and then we moving over, and that's another bad thing.
We
So
ask
it's
again.
yes, 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 and this is really important. And don't give up. If if it doesn't work the first time, don't give up. So ask the next year or half year, or if
Yeah.
it's time, if you have a good project and you know they have make a lot of revenue, then you can ask again.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Only good things can come out of it. And people are just thinking about the worst case scenarios. And in the end, like they can't fire you because you ask for a salary increase.
no, no,
And there is no anything that can actually harm you from this conversation, but you can get so much out of it. And even if something is if you are getting some red flags during that conversation, maybe like you are getting some angry manager or something like that. But that is also a good test. Like, do you really want to work for that company and for that manager? Because also you can take some time and find a manager that you really enjoy. Because you
Yes, this is
need to
also
stay in this school.
yes, and this is something you learn. You learn in this conversation, you learn, is it the right company? Is it the company I will work in the next years, for example? Is it the right manager? And sometimes you will see, so some managers are really difficult. So I've got this one too in my career. It was
Mhm.
a woman manager, and she was sitting on this budget as it was her own. So it was we didn't understand what it was like. So okay, it's my budget, for example, and I'm sitting on it, and I don't give any cent from this budget. It was really hard, really, really hard, and it was like you're talking to a wall. So I don't know if they get a prize at the end of the year if they have the budget. So I'm not sure, or if she got a target on it. So maybe I don't know, but it was really, and she only give one person always an increase and keep the other small. And this one person was her personal assistant. So
How have
so
you deal with that manager?
um yeah, I'm gone. So she was really difficult in many ways. So she was a bossing one, and it wasn't easy to work with her.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to go because at this point there was everything fine. So the team was a really good team. I love the work I've made, but she was the problem. And this was a decision to go because of the bad manager. And it was the right decision. So you find other teams, you find other work, you have other challenges. So she was a really hard one in every way. So I'm not sure why this happens. Maybe sometimes it happens. I don't know.
Yeah. In the most of cases, like these kind of like toxic managers are the most insecure managers.
Yeah, this could be. Yeah.
And they are feeling with so many insecurities on their own. So they are kind of dealing in that way because they think that like you will take their job, like they
Yeah, yeah,
or something like these kinds of things. And like definitely that is not a good environment to be in, especially for a few years. And
yeah.
yeah, just even like if you're leaving that team, you will actually doing something good for yourself because definitely you will be able to find a good environment, good team members, good company where you will work, where you will grow even faster and have all these opportunities worth living.
Yes, and you learn something about things. So I've learned so much in this time. So I think it's always good. So your failures are a good learning process.
Mhm.
So it's not a problem to get a no for something. And if you get a yes, then you get this positive feeling.
But
So you
you
will
get
see there's so much confidence then, and yes, you're happy, and you have a other mod if you go to work. It's so much better, and this will happen. So maybe by the first way, sometimes need second or third times, but it will happen. And
Mhm.
this is really important for us to get this feeling. You are seen, you are heard, and you are supported. And this is something it's really, really, really yes, it's really important. So I've got this last year. So my manager had to go, and we don't have a personal discussion with another manager, with the new one. And it was like I don't know where we're going. So it was felt a little bit lost. And then I got a salary increase without discussion. And it was like, "W- huh? What happens?
Happen.
Yes, yes, what happens? So it's the first time I got something I don't fight for. And I got another job title too. a higher position, and I was seen, I was heard, but he hadn't the time to talk to me. And I think it was his way to say, I see you, I hear you. So, but okay, let's talk another day.
Mm-hmm.
This could also happen, so it's not uh, impossible. So sometimes it happens. Um, but prepare for your talk. I'm
Mm-hmm.
always prepare my talks, and I would write down all my tasks and improvements and successes, and also the fails, so that I know in this discussion it could be there comes something like this project goes down, so you can answer why it goes down or what happens or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, put the bad voices from your head. This is so important. There will be so many people will say you do it right, and don't listen to this one person who say don't do it. So this is really, really important. You will always have this person around, and this person say this because they they think, would I do this? And if they say no, I wouldn't do this, then they think you can't do it. But it's wrong. It's definitely wrong. So it's not I can't do it, it's only how can I do it.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you have to go a longer road, but it doesn't mean it's the end of the road. So sometimes you have to go a little ways around.
Oh,
So, but be confident, yes, and try it again and again. So you have your value, and this is really important. See your value.
mm-hmm. And longer road is not a wrong road. It's just the way how it is like suitable for you. So there are many various reasons, but actually the most important thing is just like to start.
Yes,
And you know what I wanted to also discuss with you, because we were talking like about the people who are in agencies, like in-house, people who can ask seller for a salary increase for their managers, but also I think for people who are having their own SEO business,
yes,
own SEO clients, what I can see they are again undervalue their services, their values, and they are putting SEO prices that are very low. In the end, they are not happy again because they were so afraid to put some prices that are actually worth all the effort that they are doing for the clients. So how we can encourage them to actually, if you are independent SEO consultant and you are working with other SEO clients, like how to put that work and like price yourself as a SEO expert and don't just like be the cheapest version of yourself.
yes. So this is really important. You can take your low prices, but then make it clear in the contract right at the beginning. If you start with your clients, I would say, okay, I've got this fixum, but if you get revenue from my measures, then I want 50% of the revenue, for example. You can make such a model, and you can also make this model if you work for the client for a longer time and you see this revenue increase. You see your work matters, and then you can say, okay, now it's time for an increase. You have so many return on investment, for example, for your marketing campaigns or SEO. You get so much revenue, and you see it's my work, and then please make an increase. So it's possible, and I have made the experience that clients are willing to give this if they see that your work, yeah, have a value and an impact. But you can also do before you get a client, you make a higher rate.
Mm-hmm.
So it's so important. So sometimes they are scared about it, for example, and then they say, "Oh, I take 85 euros per hour," but you know your work is 160 hours euro per hour. So don't do this. So take a look on the market, what freelancer take, and sometimes um, SEO consultants take 300 euro per hour. So if you see this, then you don't have to say, okay, I am in 300
Yeah.
euro SEO consulting, but be aware of that, and then you can say 150 euro per hour, for example. So raise your prices directly if you go to the contract, and mostly this is not a problem. So if you sell yourself less, then sometimes the clients see your work less. So I don't know how to describe this problem. So, and they don't understand that you want more, or why you have said only 50 euros per hour, for example. And it's really hard to get this increase in the freelance state. So this is as free consultant, it's really hard. So I would take a look in the market, and this is really high. So here in Germany, you can take until 300, sometimes 400 or 500 euros. So there are SEO consultants who take this for an hour.
Yeah.
So make sure you know the market.
Yeah, because people in these situations, SEOs in these situations, are accepting to work for less just to get a client. But also, this has another coin, another side of coin, because if you are not valuing yourself and you are just working for like so small prices, in the end, you will not again like love that work. And also,
No,
if the client is only ready to pay you so less, they don't see the value in SEO. And when
no,
they don't see the value in SEO, they will not be ready to implement some changes. You will not be able to get results. You will not be able to actually prove that SEO worth. So I would say like the clients that are paying you the most, they are so ready and so into SEO to do everything that you suggest. And if you're just making
yeah.
like few euros, like they're not considering like and like any importance.
And mostly you have to do a lot of operative work. So if
Mm-hmm.
you take less money, then they want that you rewrite the title and the meta description and image, alt and title text. This is the work you get if you have a less price.
Yeah.
This, yeah, and then you have a lot to do and you get in nothing. So it's really, yes, I understand sometimes people are in need because they need clients and they want a good positive recommendation, for example. But at this point, you will not get this positive recommendation because the client don't see your value. Yes. So
Ah.
um and so it's better sell yourself a little bit higher, and this is totally okay because you need this for the taxes, you need this for your life. So if you are a freelancer, then so here in Germany you have to pay the taxes too, you have health care and whatever, so you need a higher range, and this is totally okay. And the clients who pay this are big clients, and if he does a good work, then mostly other clients comes.
Mm-hmm.
So they talk with each other. They are good
Yeah.
networkers, and if he does a good work, then they're talking with each other. So some all my freelance clients I've got was recommendations and such things. So they come to me like somebody said, take her to this project because I've worked with her on the other project. And so that comes to me the mostly if I was a freelancer. And I started also with less price because it was the same thing on my mind. Oh my God, I need clients, and
Mm-hmm.
but it ends. So there was a point where I said, I know my value, I know what I can do, I know what I have reached. So I have a lot of startups at this times, and I've seen them grow. And so it was a good recommendation. Yes, it was okay. This was the startup I have built. This is the startup I have built. And yeah, so it was easier to get new jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can take a higher rate. So it's really important that you have in mind what you need to pay to to others, to healthcare, to taxes. Yeah, it's hard. So it's a really hard job, and I know why they do it. Yeah, why they have the problem to be straight at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But they have to be straight at this point, and then you will survive in this business.
Yeah,
So
because
it's a hard business.
lowering the price or salaries will not help you actually in the life, because you will not have motivation, you will not enjoy, like in the end you will just like shut down that like even like business and go to full time, where again you
Yeah.
will not be able to price yourself as a SEO expert, because you just can't communicate about the money with the clients, with the managers, with anyone.
Yes, it's really, really important. Yeah, but this I understand both sides.
Mm-hmm.
So I know if you started, you're insecure, but keep in mind the other side don't have your knowledge. So it's something we forget often. So the other side don't have your knowledge, don't have your expertise, and you are there to fill this. And this is your value at this point. And then it's right that you get the right salary. It doesn't matter if you're freelancer, in-house, or agency. So agencies pay always less. So if you work for an agency, so sometimes I've worked for 2 agencies and they pay really less,
Mm-hmm.
really less. It's sometimes lesser than if you are a freelancer. So yeah, and to take high rates from the clients, but what you get is a small rate mostly. So there's also find the right agency you if you want to work for an agency, because there's so many things they can pay more, and they
Yeah.
don't. I don't. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's
not
so
easy.
cool. Because like it's not easy, and that is the purpose of this conversation, to actually bring the awareness, like why we can't do all these things, because like definitely we are dealing with the same thoughts why we can't ask, but also another side of coin is definitely more beneficial for our mental health. Even we are getting that rejection, even we are getting no, but definitely we will be able to communicate, okay, if I'm getting now no, how we can work towards that, or what is the next steps. So
Yeah.
at least we took a first step, and like bring this a topic to the world, and to bring the awareness about all these things, because like these struggles, we all had these struggles, but you really need
Yes.
to do first time, and then like you are going. So uh, we all had that, but it's just like are you going to be person that you will grow from it, or are you going to be like on the same point all the time, all this period? So it's, and even you are not having the salary that you are deserve, like you're not guilty, but you're definitely responsible to take the power and do something about it.
Yes, and this is really and it's not a use to ask for help.
Mhm.
So don't make it silent. So out and try to get help. Really important. So I'm frozen,
Yeah. Yeah, I think
but
you.
you hear me.
Yeah, I think I will also turn off my camera in case maybe your internet connection is slow.
Yeah, that's better mostly.
Yeah, it's getting better. Still, your voice is a little bit, but yeah, can you try again?
Yes. So
Now
do you
it's
hear
better.
me?
Yes,
Yeah,
now it's better.
it was the connection, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I think internet is telling us like turn off it. Veronica, are you still with us?
Yes, so I'm back again. So I was frozen again.
Mhm. Yeah, no worries at all. So just like for the end of this call, is there anything that you would like to share with us, maybe that I didn't ask, or you think that it's crucial for this topic?
Yes, I have one thing. So I have a talk with a female manager about job descriptions. and
Mm-hmm.
how women read them and how men read them and how we have to change our mindsets. And this was really interesting for sure because she said, Veronika, I give you a job description. It's the chief marketing officer, and you need the skills and you need these qualifications and you need yeah the things. So what do you do? And I said, okay, I would read this job description and would think about, do I have all the skills? And I would think about, how can I manage this position with my life? And
Mm.
she said, that's wrong, because a man would read this job description and would only read the title and would say, I make it. And after that, he would questioning how he can make it. And and she said, this is something we have to change as women. Um, we have to do some things and not overthinking things. And I think this is a good, it matches really good to this topic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is because yeah, definitely you brought a perfect example how we are reading this because whatever we do and whenever we getting some opportunities in our company to grow, we are just thinking about things that we are not experienced of and like why we will not do can't do it. And then on the
Yeah.
another side, like man, he's just like, yeah, let's I will take it and then I will find out how I will do it. So that's the
Yeah.
huge difference between us.
And this is the thing, if we go in salary increase the discussions, we overthink such things. So
Mhm.
they do it.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
in most of cases, like we are so overwhelmed and like we are missing opportunities regarding some thoughts that are in our head, but also like these thoughts are not, firstly, they are not accurate and they are just like a pattern that we are holding from our past. So we really need to be aware that like brain is really trying to sabotaging us because the new things are so unsafe for our brain. But we need to take that control and power over our brain and say like, I know that I can do it, and like even I don't know how, I will figure it out.
Yes, this is the switch. So it's good if you have a strong male in your friend's cycle or as colleague
Mm-hmm.
to ask how he would handle the situations and to train the situations with this person. And I always mentor a male mentor, for example. It's really helpful to see the other side
Oh yeah, I
and
love
to learn from the other side. So,
that. I love that because you will get actually completely different perspective.
yes. And sometimes it's so funny. So it was a short example. So, you know, if you are in a company, then you can if they have a new position, for example, then you can say, if you have somebody around, you can say, yeah, this is the person. I think it's the right person for this description. I think always, what would happen if it's not a good person or if she don't work the way or he? So, oh my God, so what do they think about me? And then I said it to my mentor, and he was looking at me and he said, Veronika, is this your problem? You say this person is right, you take the money from HR, and if it doesn't fit, this is not your problem. So it was like, what do you thinking about? You are not this person. And I was sitting there, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, and he said, why do you overthink such things? So it was like, yeah. And he said, I'm sure no man think this way. So he was
Mhm.
truly is it. No man think this way. So it's not your fault if it doesn't match.
Yeah, I think we are level pro in overthinking and
Yeah.
creating some scenarios that are actually not true at all. But like we are so creative around that. Like we can bring like 100 scenarios like why we can't do any of these things.
Yes, and not how we can do these things.
Yeah, yeah.
It's always like, yeah, it's always this, I can't do this because of. do, 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 do. And this is what I train with my mentees. Then I ask, why? This is so interesting. Why you can do this at this time? What's your challenges?
Mhm.
So, what do you need to get this? How? And then it's like, hmm. And then they think about it, and then it's something like it's the inner fight. It's they are insecure, not confident enough, or sometimes they try to find a reason why they couldn't do it. This is so interesting. And
Yeah,
this is a point really a male mentor can put you out of this situation. Experience older men. It's so funny what I have loved in my sessions.
yeah.
It was unbelievable. I said, okay, you never know. So it was like, so
Yeah, because when we are in our own thoughts, we are thinking that is the only right way. And
yeah,
we are getting the total perspective, then we start questioning our thoughts. But before that, like no.
yeah. And sometimes it helps to have somebody rational on the side who's who only support you, who only said go and take a minute, see you from my perspective. I see this and this and this in you. And this is really important that we support each other. So if
Mm.
somebody comes with a and you think, oh my God, this is a interesting thing she want to do, I always say to myself, she want to do it, or and I have to support her. If it's not too crazy, for example, yes,
Yeah,
then it's a thing she can do. Then I always say, yes, let's see what do you need? So what do you need that you reach this goal until the mid of the year, for example? So what do you need? And then I try to support it to do this. And
yeah,
this is how this did I learn from my male mentors. They are always positive, really positive. There's no, not a no. There's always a go.
yeah,
Go for it. Yes, go for it, and we will see how you stop or what you need. And this is so really important in all these conversations we have in our lives. And I think we women have to learn more to be rational, not emotional,
yeah.
and not overthinking things and do more. So I think we have learned in our childhood we have to stay calm, we have to be brave, we
Mm.
have to be silent and not too loud, and we have to be the perfect little miss. And this is something I've learned in my first session I ever had, is something you don't have to be everybody's darling.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you have to feel it and to see it. Then you are an expert in your field. This was the first sentence I ever heard was this. You are an expert in your field. And if you want to be seen in this field, then acting like this. And not like you are a woman and not like sometimes we women take this as a excuse. It's like, oh, I'm a woman, so yeah.
Mhm.
But you are also an expert in this field, and it's important to show this side of you. And this was so interesting. And he said, you don't have to be everybody's darling. It is something I have in my mind, and I take it to every discussion I have. I don't have to be everybody's darling. If they don't like me, they don't like me. If we reach the goals, then it's the most important thing.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
because most of the cases, like these people who don't want to please others are actually the most creative ones and the most open ones. So in these discussions, like people really love to work with them because like there is no kind of like any restrictions regarding new suggestions, recommendations, discussion, because like, yeah, I'm totally open for it. If you are coming with a better idea, perfect. If they are not, let's go with me. And like if you don't like my ideas, I don't like I
it's
know
okay.
ideas, and that's okay.
Yeah, this is okay, and this is something we have to accept. So
Mm.
it's okay, and it's not a personal thing.
Yeah, again, we are coming again.
Yes,
No,
again.
I
So
don't take it seriously.
yes, it's something. It's not personal. So sometimes it matches, sometimes it doesn't match. But this is I've learned from my male mentors are to be more rational, and to see that I'm an expert. You've said it at the beginning, I'm on the PPC and SEO side. And how often do you hear you can't be an expert for both?
Oh yeah.
It's hanging there. If you want to, you can. And it's on you. It's something you make this decision and not
Yeah.
anybody around you. And this is really important to see. It is this way. I know I'm an expert on both. And I think it's really relevant if you make a digital marketing strategy to see both. So for me, it's something it's needed. But yeah, there are so many voices around that say you can't be because it's not possible. So, and this is something you have to
Impossible for
go.
them, but doesn't mean that it's
Yes.
possible for you.
And this is really important that you see your own self and it's on you what you can and what you can't. And it's self-reflecting. So see yourself really clear. So I know exactly what I can't. So
Mm-hmm.
I would be the baddest salesperson ever if I would work in sales. I know this. I'm the baddest salesperson. It would wouldn't work. So I'm really bad at this point. But I know this. So I'm not this salesperson. So
Yeah.
I'm the person who gives the leads before it goes to sales.
Yeah.
This is a reason. Yes, because it wouldn't work with me. So
And that
we
is
never had revenue. Yes.
yeah, that
And this
is
is really
okay.
important. Yeah.
It's
But you have
okay.
to know this. Yeah. And yeah, and I think this is a challenge for most people to
Yeah.
see what you can and what you can't. And it's not a problem not to be an expert for all things ever, but it's good if you have find a niche you love to do, than to be the expert for this niche. So it's totally okay. And I think as SEO, you can be everything. You can be a content creator, you can be a technical SEO, you can be a detective for analytics, for example, if you're a data-driven decision maker. So you can have so many fields there you can do. This is why I love SEO.
Mm,
It's dynamic and a lot of fields you can. And if you only be a technical person, it's totally fine. So
yeah. And you can
yeah,
make also you
yeah,
can make a position for yourself. For example, I made up that I'm coach for SEO professionals because
yes,
that was something that I am really like my authentic way. Like, and even you don't have like any coach for SEOs, like I am that. So if your career path is something that it really aligns with your personality and the way you are, just bring that title and that's you are. You can find a specific niche with a client, specific approach from SEO, combining with additional things, and just like make it in your way, and like that's it. You don't need to listen like what you can or can't do like from others. It's just like
yes,
who you are really.
yes. And this makes the impact. And this is your value, your unique selling point. So, and this is really important. You know this deep inside. And we have a lot of bad influences around us. And so it's so really important to have this supporters also around us. To have this persons who see us really clear, analyzes us, and it's really important to have the support. And then don't listen to the bad voices, listen to the good voices, and listen to your voice inside. This is really important. So don't let somebody talk you down. This is so really important. So and I think this happens so many times that others keep you small for bad reasons. Maybe they had problems with themselves, but it's important that you know who you are, where you are, and you have this supporters. And there is no can't, only a how. It's something in my mentoring program from my company. I always say this: there's not a can't. It's only a how, and we try to find a way how you can make it. But there's no can't, and this is really important to see this. And if you're alone or feeling bad, and you have a bad day, and you're feeling small, go to the mirror, look in your face, and talk to yourself. You got a value. You're an important person. You have people around, they love you, and this is the most important things. And some things that happens in the business is not so important like it seems at the moment. So there are so many other things, they are so much important.
Yeah.
And this is really,
And be your own support.
yeah, yes, this is, yes. And it's not a shame to say I'm an expert in this field and this field. It's not a shame to say I'm one of the top 20, whatever, in this area. If you are this, you are this. And if you are the one, then you are the one. And
Yeah.
this is not a shame. This is not something bad. It's a good thing. So it's something, it's a good thing and you should know it. Self-care is really important. And you've got so many jealousy around. It's so many bad influences and jealousy. And so hang on the good things in your life. And what helped me all the years, ups and downs, what I have is my family. And it was like, this is business and this is private. And I've got the persons who loves me. And the other ones, for all the haters,
Mm-hmm.
it
Yeah.
doesn't matter. And then if you are clean with yourself in private, then you're clean in the business side. So we've got friends around, we've got family, so whatever. We got animals, so my cats help me a lot. So I talk to them a lot.
Yeah. The-
Yes,
These things are what is actually matter the most in life.
yes.
Not
And this
business,
is really important.
not our titles, jobs.
Not our titles, not our salary, not our jobs.
Yeah, not
So
necessarily.
there are so many other things. They are so much important. And this is something, it helps me to make this cut from the business Veronika to the private Veronika. And to be honest, there's a big difference.
Mm-hmm.
In job, I'm really clear, really strict, really straight. And in private, I'm absolutely not straight, to be honest. And I'm completely other than I'm nice, I would say, in the private time as in my business times because I have to make decisions and strategies and I have to be really straight.
Yeah,
And so in private, I'm absolutely completely other person. So
yeah,
yeah, I
that's
think it's funny if you know the business person and the private persons are two different people, and this happens for a few years. So it don't happens at the beginning of my career. It was a process to come to this. And this is really, you feel really free if you can take up your jacket, your business jacket, and you go in your private life.
yeah.
So it's really important. And then everything works. So,
Yeah, and
yes,
it works. For example, for me, it works. I'm the same person. I'm the same person like at my job and like on my coaching sessions at my private life. I'm the same. But first 2 years at my work, I haven't been like I was like so I think I didn't be my truly myself, like the some jokes that I'm making, like the funny things, like I was trying I was taking myself seriously, so I was just like serious person, but in my like in my private life, I'm not serious
yeah,
person. So I brought that myself, like so, like in the current job, like I'm like totally the same. But like it's working other way, like doesn't matter, like whatever it's working for you, just like make it align towards your.
easier. And it's easier to be clear at this point. So how it works. So this is all okay. So you can be the same, you can be different, but
Yeah,
make sure you don't take it personal. You
yeah.
can take things personal in your private life. This is totally okay. There are emotions. It's a completely other field. There you
Mm.
can be, oh my God, emotional or whatever you want to be. But in business, it's only business.
Oh yeah.
And you can get another job. So it's something that could change. And in the private field, there's often not so much change. So you have the same family, for example.
Mhm.
And you have mostly the same friends, or you get new ones, or you lose someone. So, but it's something, it's really clear. And in business, it's okay if it changes. And then all the emotion you've spent, it was worth time.
Yeah.
But if you get a new job, then you have new challenges, you have new things, and you can cut it off. It's the best, yeah, area in your life you can cut things.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think this is the problem, to find the balance, um, that you can be this person you want to be in the business side. You can be this person you want to be in your private life, but don't take it personally. It's so important. A no is a no. It's not a problem. It's And if you lose your job because of business decisions, it's not because of you. So make it really clear. It's a business decision. Sometimes we don't know how they make the decisions on this level. We don't see the numbers they see. And it's really important that they only see, we call it in Germany FTE. A
Mhm.
person is a FTE. And they only see us as a number, as a FTE,
Oh.
and not as a person. So it's only a budget they see. Let's explain it this way. And this is so important. Please don't take it personal. And if a client say, I don't work with you if you want an increase, it's also not personally. Then you will find another client who will pay you right. And use communities if you need clients. Women in Tech SEO, they have freelance Slack channels, for example. If freelancers need work, and I'm sure you can reach out to every woman there, and they would help you to support your portfolio, for example. Um, and if you are a male site, I'm sure there are communities too you can use. Use your community, your network. And I only see it on Woman in Tech SEO how good it works. If somebody search a job, for example, and they write in the channel, please share my LinkedIn post, and then everybody does it with a comment. You have to work with her because she's brilliant. I have worked with her. And on the freelance channel, you always have opportunities. And on the job channels, there are jobs. So
Mhm.
use all this you have, all your networks you have, all your community you have, and build this. If you are a freelancer, it's important to have this network. And build this network. And then if a client say goodbye, then it's not the end of the world. So I think this is also important to know. It's not the end of the world, but don't stand still.
Yeah, and definitely you are able to find the clients that you are going to even more enjoy and that they will pay you and that they will see you your value.
Yeah,
And
yes,
that's
I'm sure.
great for both.
Yes, and then it's good for the soul, it's good for the heart, and it's good for the confidence. So it's something we need. We really, really need if we get lost sometimes. And you c- you can be sure we always were on this point, all of us, that we get lost sometimes. And then you have this moment where you see this is my value. Sometimes we got this feeling it doesn't work for us, but for everybody around us it works, and that's not true.
Mm.
So we only show our shiny sides and our good results, and we don't talk about our failures. But you can be sure for everyone, we all was in these situations. We have lost a client, we don't get a job, we don't get a salary increase, we don't get interims payment. Um,
We got no.
this Yes, so this happens,
Mm.
and we all were on this point, and we always think, oh my God, we don't know how it should work tomorrow. But and you can fall in this rabbit hole, but not long. So come out, work with your network, with your communities, and then it will work. So it's really, really important. that you be sure you can do it and you can get out. And I think there are so many people around they help at this point. So
Yeah.
you only have to ask sometimes.
Mm, yeah. There is help on every side if you're looking for it, but
Yeah.
SEOs just wants to do it on their own, and then
Yeah. And this is all, you don't have to be alone at this site. So
this
the
is
lonely cowboy.
cool topic, yeah.
Yeah, it's another topic.
Yeah. And Veronika, you know that I would really love it, and I would really enjoy in discussing with you like all the night and opening the new topics and opening all these things. And I appreciate like your point of view, your mindset, because definitely that is something that SEOs need.
Thank you.
Yeah, so thank you so much for this. And also, I know that having called and you are speaking and providing the value. So thank you so much for joining this call. And I'm happy to also invite you for a new episode sometime
Yes.
next year. So thank you so much for providing so many valuable insights.
Thank you for the invitation.
Thank you so much, and I will see you.
See you. Bye.